Why can't Hollywood make Resident Evil work? I haven't seen any of the Resident Evil live action movies, and the reason I haven't is because most people say that it's like really really bad, and I don't understand how they could like mess up Resident Evil. Like, it's such a good like story, like the games are so great, like how can you just not like make it into a movie? Like, how can you just not? Which is why I'm excited for the new movie, because I pray and I hope. We watched the trailer earlier. I'm praying that it's good. It looks good. The director made Weapons. I liked Weapons. I liked Barbarian. You know, okay. The beginning of Barbarian was good, and then it got into that whole monster thing, and that was just weird. They dragged that on for too long, I feel. But then Weapons came out. I thought visually it was stunning. You know, the story was, it's kind of But, you know, visually it was stunning. Very excited for the movie. I will be one of the first people, you know, in there. I'm going to have my full getup on. Like, I am so excited, and I want them to do this right so bad, but I just don't understand how they could just not make a good movie out of it. Like, what I want is a movie that's exactly like the games, you know, 2, 3, 4. Like, they can, I just want a movie with the same characters and the same story. I will eat that up. I genuinely will eat that up. Like, you don't have to do like a full like new character, new setting, and new stuff. You don't have to do that. Like, if you just stick to kind of like what the games provide, you know, shot like I will watch that. Okay, if that's into a movie, like I will watch that. But, you know, if they want to make new characters, if they want to do that whole thing, I'm fine with that. I'm praying. I'm praying it's good. Like, please don't mess it up, okay? Please. Please. Like, I've been following them making the movie, like, since they were thinking about it. Like, they're, oh, we might make a Resident Evil movie. I'm so excited for this movie. You have no idea. But I don't like I haven't seen the live action ones. Probably won't see the live action ones because people just say that it's bad. I don't want to waste my time. But I have seen all of the like animated ones, and I think those are pretty okay. Like, some of them are better than others, obviously. But I mean, I liked Vendetta. Vendetta is pretty good. Damnation, I didn't like it. This one was boring. This one was boring. This one, not as boring. I like the whole plot, you know. Man is sad because his wife dies because of him, so he wants to take over the world. I like that. I also really liked Infinite Darkness, but that isn't really like a movie. That's more like a show that Netflix made, but I thought they did pretty well, like with Claire and Leon and like that whole thing. It was pretty long. It's like, I don't know. I don't even know how long it is. Infinite Darkness. This was good. This was good. I liked this. I liked this whole thing. Shot really well. Animation was pretty good. How long is that? I think it was like 3 episodes. And I think the episodes were like 40 minutes. Oh, yeah, it was 4 episodes and each episode was 24 minutes. 24 to 28. It was like an hour or whatever. I like that they did this. I like it was kind of like a show kind of thing. But, yeah, I'm hoping that they don't mess it up. Please don't mess it up. Please. Please. That's all I want. Just don't mess it up, please. I don't want an Until Dawn situation. Please. Oh my god.
This, dear viewer, in a world where Hollywood are somehow able to hammer together viable, crowd-pleasing movies that retain the spirit and characters of platformer games
Sonic was pretty good, too. I like Sonic.
like Mario and Sonic, or fighting tournaments like Mortal Kombat, which basically have no plots to speak of and very little lore to build on, then how in the name of holy fuck do they manage to fail at Resident Evil?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how did you mess it up? How? Genuinely,
time and time again. I mean, it's like being able to consistently nail a hole-in-one at golf, but fail
I haven't seen Happy Gilmore. I haven't seen it.
Sink a putt from like 2 feet away. It's a franchise that's literally tailor-made for film adaptations.
Yes.
I mean, the whole reason it was created in the first place was to replicate the look and feel of cheesy B-movie horror films, complete with zombies, traps, spooky houses,
Puzzles,
and bad acting.
Like, bro.
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right.
Jill sandwich. Absolute cinema.
I mean, you're telling me you can't make a movie out of that? Why?
Yeah.
It's not like Resident Evil is some devious enigma that requires 5-dimensional quantum mega chess to unravel. It's a simple—
Like, why didn't you just recreate it? Like, Why didn't you just take the game and then copy paste that into a movie? Why?
Formula, but holy fuck, do they make it hard on themselves. If anything, the harder they've tried, the worse it's gotten over the years. And by golly, have they tried. First up were the Mila Jovovich movies from the early 2000s.
No,
I mean, I can at least say they bore some kind of vague resemblance to the games. At first. Yeah, they were cheesy and ham-fisted and trying so hard to be cool in that cringy, post-Matrix world of 20 years ago that you can't help but smile when you look at them now. They're like charming little artifacts from a different age. Their fundamental flaw, though, was that they tried to bend the events and mythos of the Resident Evil universe around a brand new protagonist with all the charm and personality of Sabrina Carpenter. Seriously, why is that AstroTurf bimbo suddenly fucking everywhere? Played by an actress with all the emotional range of Gal Gadot on horse tranquilizers.
Oh my God.
There was nothing to root for with Alice because her plot armor was so impenetrable it made Ray look positively vulnerable in comparison. The series was also a case study on the principle of, really? They want us to make another one? By the time you got to the third film, the series had abandoned any pretense of following the games and went completely off in its own batshit crazy direction, each new movie undoing and retconning the events of the previous film because it was obvious the writers had absolutely no plan for where they wanted to go.
Or they just never played the game or watched anything about it.
They were just winging it, really, making each new movie as if they thought it was going to be their last, only to find out, oh, we need to make another one. But somehow, against all the odds and logic and common sense, they kept making money, and so they kept churning them out, until the series finally died for good in 2017. But worse was to come, dear viewer. Oh yes. Then came Welcome to Raccoon City in 2021, a movie
I forgot about this. I haven't watched this either.
Valiantly tried to fuse together the events of the first two games into one disjointed, barely coherent narrative.
What?
I mean, in its defense, it at least tried to stay faithful to the video games, bringing in somewhat recognizable locations, plot events, and characters. Yeah, most of them looked, talked, and acted like completely different people. Yeah, the dialogue and the acting were so wooden you could build chunky, rustic coffee tables out of it. And yeah, it was very obvious the movie was reaching way beyond what it could do with its tiny budget of 25 million. But it was something at least.
Tiny budget of 25 million. I feel like this new movie will be good. I mean, I watched the trailer. It looks so cool. Like shot like it. Oh my god! Like the scene where he's like running and then there's a bunch of like zombies following and there's blood everywhere. Amazing. That looks so good. I'm praying plot wise it's really good. Okay. Visually it can be good, but plot wise, please. Please.
Then came the Netflix show.
What is happening?
Oh god,
what is
the
this?
Netflix show. Truly, there are no curses in Entish, Elvish, or the tongues of men to properly convey my absolute disgust for that despicable piece of shit. Part teen high school drama.
I didn't even know this was a thing. What?
Part post-apocalyptic survival story.
What?
Part feminist power fantasy with a good old dash of race baiting lumped in. And all garbage. It had about as much respect for the Resident Evil series as I have for The Last Jedi. It's painfully clear now that the showrunner was completely in business for himself, that he had his own original story he desperately wanted to tell, and reluctantly tacked the rest.
And he just threw on Resident Evil onto it, just fucking throw that on there.
Resident Evil name onto it just to get it made. And I bring all this up because it seems to be a common thread running through these doomed Resident Evil projects. Paul Thomas Anderson wanted to make action horror movies with his wife, so he used the Resident Evil series as a launchpad before going completely off in his own direction. Andrew Dabb wanted his teen drama with a pair of strong, empowered female leads, so he stuck some Resident Evil references in there to get all of that sweet, sweet Netflix money. And now here we are in the year of our Lord, 2026, staring down the barrel of a fourth attempt at Resident Evil, this time courtesy of Zach Cregger. And the more I hear about this film, the less excited I feel for it. Not because I think Cregger's a bad director, far from it. I like the guy and I think he did a good job with Weapons, and not even because I think he'll make a terrible film. In fact, I'm guessing it'll probably be a decent, competently made horror movie. The problem is, I think it's going to be a shit Resident Evil film. Why? Because just like Paul Anderson and Andrew Dabb before him, Zach Cregger is entirely out to tell his own story with this one.
Really?
I don't just take my word for it, listen to what the man himself had to say.
Oh no, I'm scared. I'm scared. Oh no.
Tell Leon's story because Leon's story is told by the games. Fans already have that. This is a story that I would have wanted to write whether I got the IP or not. Now, pay attention to that last point, 007, because it's pretty important. This isn't an adaptation of the games, the characters, or the storylines of Resident Evil. It's entirely a story of its own that he would have
Put me in direction. Give me 20 million. Give me 20 million. I'll direct it, script it, write it, get the characters, listen to the fans. Resident Evil 2, made by me. I will single-handedly make this movie exactly like the game. Okay? Exactly like the game. Copy, paste. Control-C, Control-V. Okay? Copy, paste. That is what I want. That is what... I want you to cast Leon. I want Leon to say the exact lines. I want Leon to be cheesy, and I want to just sit there and clap and stare at the screen and be like, yes, this is what I want. Exactly what I want. Why can't they just adapt? Resident Evil itself is so good. Why aren't you making a story centered around Resident Evil? Why are you making up your own story and then slapping the Resident Evil logo on it?
Written anyway. It just so happens to sit within the Resident Evil universe, and if the rumours I've heard are true, that connection amounts to nothing more than a brief reference to Raccoon City near the end of the film. In other words, a token fucking gesture. And every time I see another project like this, I just have to ask myself,
I die a little.
Why? Why do filmmakers insist on putting their own stamp on existing IPs?
Why?
I mean, is it an ego thing? Can they just not work unless they get to spread their own glorious creative wings?
If it's not gonna be in the Resident Evil universe, why are you making a Resident Evil movie? I believe you can do it, thank you. I will do everything, okay? It will be awesome, okay? Just get me in the writing room. Get me in there, please. Oh my god. If you want to make a story, then just make the story. If it's not gonna have Resident Evil lore or characters or whatever, why are you making it? If you're only using it to push your own story, just make the story then. Why are you slapping Resident Evil, the name, on there if it's not gonna be Resident Evil? Like,
I don't know, but fuck me, is it frustrating to watch people exploit these games for name recognition just so they can tell their own completely unrelated story. That is not what the fans want.
No.
It would be like having a Tomb Raider movie about a delivery truck driver who's trying to reconcile with his estranged wife while battling alcohol addiction.
Like, what does this have to do with Tomb Raider? Oh my god. And then he plays Tomb Raider on his TV and he goes, "This is Lara Croft." And then he cries.
And in the final scene, he happens to make a delivery to Croft Manor.
Yeah.
It might be a great little story on its own merits, but it's not why I came to watch a
Is that an actual movie? There's no way that's an actual movie. He's making that up.
movie with the fucking Tomb Raider name on it. Like I say, this video isn't to hate on Zach Kreger. I'm sure he'll make a good horror movie that stands on its own merits. I just wish he would have left the Resident Evil name out of it. And I wish that after almost 30 years of failed attempts, we'd get an actual faithful adaptation.
Just put me in the writer's room. Put me. Better yet, I'm gonna pull a Markiplier Iron Lung. Just make my own. Make it. I can do it. A little budget. I can do it. Just put me in there. Put me in
the
there.
games for once. Oh well, a man can dream, I guess. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Okay. I'm just so sad.